Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Happy February. Welcome to Tomato Talk Live. I'm Lauren.
I'm Jen.
We have a great guest back with us tonight. We have Ashley from the Gardening in Canada YouTube channel. I was looking, she was back on the show with us about 6 months ago, and I was looking at the verbiage I used, to welcome Ashley, and I wrote that she has 140,000 viewers. Well, 6 months later, now she's up to, I think, 147,000. Her
Wow.
channel is massive. If you guys don't follow her, make sure you run, don't walk to subscribe to her channel. She's
Puts
great.
out great content.
She's here with us. I don't really want to waste any time. Do you have any announcements, Jen?
No, not really. Let's just get to it.
Make sure you guys mark on your calendar. Our plant swap in Carlisle, Pennsylvania will be on May 8th. And then our tomato tasting will be in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, August 28th. So mark your calendars. But let's bring her on.
Yes.
There she is. Let me unmute her. Hey, Ashley.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for being back with us.
Yes.
No problem.
The last time, I guess it was over the summer you were here last.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know if it was late summer, early summer. I can't quite remember.
I can't either. I meant to look, but I do know it was the summer. I know it was about 6 months or so ago. You're growing by leaps and bounds, your channel.
I don't know, actually. When you said 140,
Oops. You're on.
Uh-oh.
We lost you, Ashley. You're on mute.
Oh, we can't hear you.
hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good thing you have two microphones.
But I was gonna say, thank goodness you looked, because when you said that, I was like, oh, that's what I meant. Great.
I
Sounds good.
would ask you what your theory is as to why you're growing, but you're so humble, you probably wouldn't say. Jen, I'll say what I say, and you say what you think. I bet it's the same. You're so smart, and you're so knowledgeable about this stuff, but you're able to talk to people like me that aren't necessarily scientific, but who love to garden. And you do it without, I don't feel like you're ever talking down to me, or you're like, oh, you little people, like, let me just dumb this down for you. I just think you're just so real. What do you think, Jen?
Well, I just relate to your personality so much because you just, I don't know, you say it like it is. And you say fun stuff sometimes that you're just like, oh, she did say that.
And you should see a blooper reel. Oh my god.
I bet.
Oh, to see your blooper reels because just
Sometimes I'm like, well, that's half the video.
it's just fun. I mean, you know, that's what people actually want to see. They don't want to see the preaching, I guess you could put it. They want to see the fun stuff too, or the jokes that go with the teaching and all that stuff. So,
And the real stuff, not just the pretty stuff, but all the hairy, ugly warts and stuff too. You're really good at sharing what's real and what's not.
and
Yeah.
And another thing is that you're not like, it's not black and white for you.
No, not at all.
Right.
Like you're very, if this works for you, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
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 I think I've seen it all.
Mhm.
Like I've seen, for example, like trials that have been repeated over and over again under the same conditions can give completely different results. And it's like, that's the reality of soil and pest science, in my opinion anyways. It's just too many variables. You can't control them all. And for someone to sit here and be like, I know all the variables. No,
Yeah.
Can guarantee you.
Plus, you're passionate about it. You get really excited, and that comes through in your videos too. You get me excited.
Oh, that's good.
And you're obviously very experienced because you've been doing it since you were 5.
Yeah.
A long time. Yeah.
Ashley's channel scrolling at the bottom, but Ashley, I know you did this last time you were here, but can you just like give us a brief, like Jen said, you've been gardening since you were 5. For those of you that may not know you, could you give just a brief, like how you got started in all this?
Yeah, so about 5 years old, probably. I basically was told the moment I could start like holding and destroying things, it was plants. So my grandma was a huge gardener, just like beautiful flowers, vegetables, perennials, you name it. And I always went to help her, and I always had to shadow her everywhere she went. So starting about 5, I was given like a ketchup bottle with some holes in the top to like water with, because I wasn't allowed to use a watering can because I would drown everything. And then eventually I got like my own little garden section where I would like plant and do stuff in it. And of course, most of it died. But that did eventually translate into like an obsession. So by the time I hit high school, I was working in a pet store, but I was working in the reptile section. And in that section, I was doing obviously like the terrariums and the fish tank plants. And that was where I wanted to be. And then by the time I got to university, I went in with the intention of doing like a plant science, something to that effect. And then one of my professors, Fran Wally, she was just a rock star in my world. And she started talking about soil. And then I picked my major that day. I was like, wow, this is it. This is what I'm going for. So, because I love it. It's different from plants in the sense that it's got chemistry, it's got physics, it's got biology, it's got like geology is involved with this. We've got history involved with this. We're talking about like glaciers and in like lakes inbound, intercontinental lakes forming soil, sand dunes, like you name it. And I thought all of that was so cool. So that's kind of where I went. So I did do like bulk of my study is in soil science. But oddly enough, there's not a lot of jobs in soil science. Like there's a few, but there's not a ton. So I did do a minor, so huge bulk of what I did was in plant science. So that did obviously help me a little bit because that is where a lot of the bread and butter is at, because I like to say the soil is what grows the food because I'm biased, but ultimately, I mean, it is the plants that get the credit. So that's what people are most interested in. But yeah.
Did you ever think you'd be having like this wildly successful YouTube channel and teaching others how to garden?
I didn't know. I didn't see this one coming. I've always been like really like what you see is what you get all my whole life. I've been like this. So I've never been shy and I've never been like, oh, I got to hold back or, anything like that. So I think I always have been kind of the person in the room that people always like gravitate towards and want to hang out with and, invite out because it's Ashley's going to do something stupid. Might as well bring her along.
I would be with you.
So I think that kind of, I knew that event, like, regardless of what I do, I'm always usually like in some sort of like leadership role. I'm either the manager or I'm like, social coordinator. I'm always like doing stuff like that just naturally before I even did the YouTube side of things. But the YouTube side of things completely came because of people like you guys just basically begging me to do it. They're like, please, for the love of God,
It
like,
was meant to be then.
yeah, because before it was like just in like WhatsApp chats and stuff, I'd be like, yeah, that's what you do. I'd like send voice memos or like Snapchats, and then everyone's like, just stop. Like, make the YouTube channel, send us the links. Like, this is insane. So that's actually, it was people, the geek crew, as I like to call them, they were the
Yeah.
ones that were like, okay, let's get on the internet, please, for the love of God. So
So
they didn't want to hear from me anymore. Like, thank God she's got an outlet and it's not me. That's probably the more likely option, but yeah.
So for any of you that have questions for Ashley, I know there's going to be many. We'll get to as many of them as possible. We also have some prizes to give away at the end of the show. You can type in hashtag tomato, hashtag tomato. How can I forget that? It's like every episode. Hashtag tomato, and John Kramer's giving away a $25 gift certificate to Tomato Eden. Cindy C from the Philippines is giving away some seeds. And Akelia, let me show you. I've made a slide for what Akelia is giving away. Which one's it at?
I need one of these things.
No, you don't have one. I do.
No, I just
Where'd it
use
go?
one of my bootstrap farmer trays. Put a bunch of soil in that, and then up pop my tomatoes. Yeah.
All right, that's not it. That's not it. That's not. Where'd my slideshow?
It was.
No. No.
I
I
saw
feel
it.
like
I have a lovely little slideshow. What happened to it? Is this it? Here we go. Here it is. Oh, except don't have Ashley. There's Ashley. Um,
hi.
so Aphelia's giving away 3 of these potting mats. They're great. They're pink, blue, and green. So thank you, Akelia, and
Yes, thank you everyone for your donation.
Cindy, and to John for your donations. Just type in hashtag tomato.
We are so blessed.
So we're general. I mean, we can talk about whatever you guys want, but we thought we would start since it's seed starting season for so many. And Jen and I implore you all at this time every year. It's not seed starting season for a lot of you. Don't do it.
Not
In
for
fact,
tomatoes and peppers. Not for tomatoes and peppers. Don't do it.
well, Ashley has a video out what to plant in February.
Well, hot peppers.
Yeah, you want to talk? Actually haven't watched that full thing, but you have like a tomatoes, no, peppers, yes. Do you want to share your thoughts on when to start? I mean, I know it depends really on your growing zone, but what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the nice part about peppers is they can be a little bit slower growing, but tomatoes definitely not. There's not a single tomato out there that I think you should plant right now unless you have like a little dwarf determinant that you want to put in a container and keep in a container. That'd be like the exception. But in regards to peppers, pardon?
They call garage tomatoes.
Garage tomato, yes, exactly. Those
Jen and
ones.
I started a couple of years ago. We both started. We grow dwarfs because we're anxious to start something, and we put them in grow bags and we drag them out during the day in the sun, and then we drag them into the garage at night.
Oh yeah, yeah, you would have to do that. Yeah, they wouldn't like them sometimes
No.
for sure. Yeah, and then as for peppers, I mean, super hot to hots, absolutely. Like now's the time to start them. And then for sweeter peppers, in my opinion, if you don't have a heat mat and you are inexperienced at starting peppers, that sort of thing, I think it's okay to start them now, only because you might have some die off. They may grow a little bit slower. They may take a little bit longer to germinate. But I think if you've got like the heat mats and all the conditions kind of locked in, I think you could probably hold off as well. The other big factor, actually, when it comes to peppers, is whether or not you're going to top them. So if you're going to top, then that kind of changes things too. So if you're going to go into the world of like removing the top portion of the plant to cause kind of that Ving out, and then maybe you want to top again, that may be a reason for why you'd start them a little bit earlier as well. But it's actually interesting because I did a video on that, I think years ago, looking at topping and kind of what industry does. And industry tops their peppers, but it has nothing to do with the volume of vegetable that they get. It has to do with the appearance. So they have more like purchasable fruit at the end of the season or like pure volume. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting because for bell peppers, for example, if you were to start them now, it'd be a great idea to top them because then you'd get a perfect bell pepper. But if you're like, I don't really care if it's perfect, then if you were to start them later, you're just going to get more pepper, but they'll be smaller and like not as perfectly shaped and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting too. Yeah. I would have thought, like, from a production standpoint, you would just, the more the merrier. But then I guess you always do hear that people want the same size and the same look. And we know that's not a reality at all for
No. I like the funky looking fruits. Tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah. Business is built around that now. I don't know what you guys have out there, but here we have something called Odd Bunch. And it's like a subscription.
Oh, Misfits. We have something called Misfits.
Okay. Yeah. And you just like get a box of like ugly vegetables, but there's like literally nothing wrong with them.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. My farm stand has like a big basket of, they call them seconds. They've got a bruise here and there. And I'm like, it's perfect for roasting vegetables. What do I care? But
yeah.
I don't know why you go to a farm stand and expect perfect, but I do not.
No.
So any seed starting questions for Ashley? So she agrees with Jen and I, do not start your tomatoes unless you're down south, like, down in the southern areas, probably already started tomatoes already.
Yeah.
And I know Ashley's talked about this before too.
In Florida. I heard that there's iguanas falling out of trees in Florida. That's
so
all
there's people, they have their tomatoes that got frostbitten and died. last week because it got so cold in Florida.
Yeah, Jeffrey from Secret Seed Cartel lost his tomatoes. Somebody else
Yes.
lost their tomatoes too. I'm
Oh,
actually heading to Florida on Thursday to visit my parents for 3 weeks, but I think it's supposed to be in the low 70s Fahrenheit by the time I get there.
Well,
But
you missed
it's been
that
cold. Yeah.
anomaly. That was weird.
But don't start your tomatoes, Ashley. I know I've heard her talk about this before. It has to do with soil temperature, not necessarily the temperature outside. And you will often have to restart your entire tomato for starting too early. You're not going to get earlier tomatoes.
mm-mm.
No,
They all catch up.
they
It's weird.
do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jen and I agree.
I'm
It's
doing it this
tempting,
year.
though. I get it.
Yeah, this year I was thinking about it, and I think like I'm thinking February 14th, like the middle of every month, going up into middle of May. I'm gonna start tomatoes, like just a small batch, and then I'm gonna just track them through the summer and see at the end where we end up. But I have a sneaking suspicion that everything's gonna be pretty darn
They do.
Yeah.
fun.
I started Succession starting about 2 or 3 years ago, and they do. They catch up. It's really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So we have another soil scientist to be. Jamie's in school for soil science. She says, Happy
Oh,
Friday. So excited to be here with everyone. Ashley is wonderful. She reminds me so much of my soil science professor.
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome.
Very cool. Glad you're here, Jamie.
That's awesome.
I'm good. Normally we'd say hi to everybody, but we want to get to questions and stuff too. By the way, just because Ashley's channel says gardening in Canada, I don't live in Canada. Jen doesn't live in Canada. Her channel has so much for everybody, regardless of whether or not you live in Canada. I watched Ashley's video on overwintering tomatoes. My clones from last year's best 4 tomatoes are still going strong in my basement. Going to be awesome having them for another year. Way to go, Drew.
Yeah, well done. Well done. That could not have been easy.
Yeah, he's
That,
been
I,
sharing the progress in the group. It's pretty cool. I think Malachite box is one of them. Am I right, Drew? That's one of my favorite tomatoes of all time.
oh, really?
Yeah. Have you ever had it? It's a green one, right?
No.
Oh, it's
I am.
delicious.
I will be the first person to tell you I don't experiment much with varieties, but maybe you guys can teach me a thing or
I'm
two.
gonna send you some seeds, my friend.
I'm just like pink brandy wine's perfect. Actually, you know what? The
Yes.
green zebra ones, those ones, they taste
Yep.
like chemicals to me, and everyone loves them. And I think I'm just crazy.
Wait, which one?
They're called green zebra or something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Are they grown? Okay, so I'm not
Yeah.
crazy. I was
No.
gaslit into thinking these were going to be the best tomatoes I'd ever tasted, and I
No.
literally
you have to try. You have to try some more green ones.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
send you some seeds. Jen and I will send you some seeds. Yeah,
Thieves,
that
is it
It's
thieves
like
don't steal?
gone.
that one is used a lot for breeding for people that want stripes and stuff like that. But on its own, yeah,
It's
it's
disgusting.
you're not.
It's gross.
It is. It's unfortunate if people start their journey because green when ripe tomatoes are some of the most delicious tomatoes in the world, but that is not one of them.
That is not okay. The internet lied to me. Shocker.
It did. The internet totally lies. All right, let's talk about the video you put out last week about you have like your top 11 different ways to start seeds. I really, really enjoyed it. I actually stole some pictures from the internet to talk about some of them. You kind of go back with like different fads that you think are maybe not worth going into. Or I'm going to lose the thing with this.
You said that
Do
very
the slide
good.
again. What's that? I have to. There's a lot of people that are doing that seed snail thing, and I don't want to upset
Oh
anybody.
yeah, there was somebody that just posted in our group about it.
How did I lose this screen again? Hang on, where'd it go? No, we lost Ashley again. Hang on, Ashley. Sorry.
The winner is no.
Slideshow. No. Slideshow. No. Slideshow. No. Slideshow. No. Where'd it go? Sorry. I'm not very tech savvy today. Is this it? Here we go. Okay. So the first, I think this was like your number 10 or 9 is the seed snail. And I brought up a picture for those that don't know what a seed snail is. And you basically put it down low only because you felt it wasn't beginner friendly.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want to add
Yeah.
any thoughts on it?
So this one, like, this is where I struggle with making YouTube videos and reels and that sort of thing. Because I feel like oftentimes I can't get enough context in without pissing the algorithm off. But I'd love to go into more depth on some of these because there's obviously a lot of nuance in this. Like we were talking about before, I don't see things in black and white. There's a lot of gray in my opinion, and this one has a lot of gray in my opinion. So, couple things I think if you're gonna do it is you don't want to use something that's got like chunky perlite, so no high porosity potting soil. Like you can see on this photo, this person's using something very dense, which
Yeah,
is exactly what you would want to use. Like it's a compost peat or wire, whatever the case. And then I think the next one is like you can see in this one, there's a lot of variability. Like there's a really thick band on the outside, and the inside has a thick band, but there's like a couple thinner bands in there. We always want to think about volume of soil. So volume of soil isn't just volume of soil; it's the volume of nutrients, it's the volume of water, it's the volume of air, it's a volume of like root growth and pressure and all that sort of stuff. So if you're going to do it, you want to make sure it's relatively thickly banded because something like this is great for sprouting seeds temporarily, getting them going and getting that real long taproot to shoot down fast. But you need to pot them up relatively quickly. If you have a little bit more give, I guess, in the size or the thickness of the bands, you could probably leave them for a bit longer. But I think it's all those little nuances that make me nervous to say like, yeah, this is the beginner one. Like this is the one you want to go with because there's just too much potential for failure. Like if this isn't, for example, it's not packed in properly. Like if you don't have it really nicely, tightly wound and taped in that, you end up with air pruning, and air pruning is the roots dying off. So if you've got a taproot and it shoots down and it hits an airspace, like it's going to self prune if it's particularly dry in that space. And so you end up with like a larger or a smaller root biomass, all that sort of stuff. So I think, to me, I think it's a good space saver if you're someone who's experienced. But if you're experienced and you're like me and you're not looking at the seeds every day or the seedlings every day, probably not a great choice. If you're a beginner, I'd skip it too. But it's definitely popular, very popular.
It is. And you mentioned about it being like you didn't use this wording, but like sexy Instagram, everybody's
Yeah.
doing it now. I can see how it'd be a great space saver. I know me and I'm a hot mess. And I know the labels I don't even know how you label that. And it would fall all over the place. I know it would.
Plus, it's like if you're doing as many different types as we're doing, that kind of thing, just like, cause I do what, like 4 to 6 seeds of each variety of like 250 kinds of tomatoes. So like that's got like, I don't know, 50 plants. And so how would you, like, if I wanted to do, it wouldn't work for me.
No. And it does tip over. Like I did try to do it because this was a trend, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Wasn't last year, but it went to sleep here for a year or two, but it came back again this year. And the one year I tried it, I used wax paper because that's the other thing too is, and I'll say this on my channel a lot, I'll talk about like the pot being part of your soil system. So the type of pot you have plays a huge part in moisture and air exchange and the rates that things evaporate in and air pruning of roots, like all that sort of stuff. So in this case, like I've seen there's the newer snail rolls are a little bit different. Like this one looks like it's foam, and I've seen a few that are like
Yeah, it does. You're right.
a batting, like a.
I wonder if like felt would work.
Yeah, like I've seen a couple like that, and I thought to myself, like that's even riskier if you're not watering all the time. But also at the same time, it makes sense in regards to allowing for water to move across all the cells, like cells as in like rows. The water can move freely between all the rows. The air can move freely between all the rows. Whereas before it was wax paper. Like that was the thing 2-3 years ago was wax paper roll. That one, like the water's not going to move. between the rows. The air's not going to move between the rows. The roots aren't going to move between the rows. Like, it is quite literally siloed into that little vein. So if you weren't watering like in a circle too, like, you'd be cursing yourself, I think. So, but it did tip over nonstop. Insane. I just threw it in the garbage. I was like, sorry.
Green zebra are a little tough and gross. Oh shoot, we can't see.
People are agreeing with you.
I'm gonna move Ashley over here
Okay.
to people's comments.
I need to not listen to the internet more often. That's
I'm
good.
gonna move this down.
We can steer you in the right direction of a green when ripe.
Yeah, I think I gotta ask you guys next time. Yeah.
They say Xanadu Green Goddess is good too, and I hated that one also.
Oh, really? I don't even really have any tomatoes like ready to raw. I've got my pink brandy wines, which I'm obsessed with.
Well, it's a classic for a reason. That's a delicious tomato. But I'm surprised that's a long season one. You can do that successfully in Canada?
I can do anything successfully.
That's true. Who am I talking to here?
It is. No, it is. You'll be burnt every once in a while. Like, you gotta top them. So, like, you probably don't do that where you are, but at the end of the season, where you're about 3 weeks out from your last frost date, you'll go with a set of scissors and you'll chop them to your last kind of tomato cluster, and the whole top of the plant you get rid of, and then it just propels all the auxin, which is a growth hormone, back down into the plant. So it sends it back down through the plumbing, and then it matures everything else, because it's like, well, we can't put on new growth because it's gone. And then it does mature those up a little bit, but you do run a risk. Like, last year, I didn't get a good harvest off of them because I had, really cold summer. And so my cold summer was my factor, because growing degree days, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about that too. Like, it's not necessarily the number of days, it's how hot it is.
Right.
You know, you got to accumulate so many units, and the units are accumulated by temperature. So if you're not accumulating enough units, even if it's a 90-day summer, you're just not going to get the same yield. So, and that was one of those ones. But this is the other one that I got, was this pink Berkeley tie-dye.
That's a delicious tomato.
Okay, yeah.
That's
So
my
this
favorite.
Okay, so I grew these ones like 2 years ago, and then I didn't grow them last year. And my family was cussing me out because this was their favorite, and I was like,
good.
yeah. So I was thinking to myself, like, which ones did I not grow? Because to be honest, I label absolutely nothing.
Ashley.
Nothing. Like, I couldn't breed to save my life because I wouldn't know what I'm crossing. But I realized, like, I'm pretty sure these are the Berkeley tie-dyes are the ones that I missed out on. And
It's
yeah, when I saw them on the package,
bred
I was
by Brad Gates of California, who's
That's another one of my grow outs this year.
Yeah, right. He's responsible for a lot of the cool and funky tomatoes that have come out. But that's one of the best tomatoes I've ever had in my life. That's a really
it's so tasty. Yeah.
Very pretty again.
So we have Deborah from Australia here. Apart from lack of calcium and irregular watering, is there anything else that causes blossom end rot?
Yes. Yeah, no, there is. So I think probably the biggest one, without getting too into the weeds, is fertilizing. So if you're fertilizing with like a bloom formula or something to that effect, and you're overdoing it, calcium and magnesium and manganese and boron, there's quite a few secondary micronutrients that are similar size molecule wise in how they're uptaken into the plant. And so root hairs are kind of funny. So they have two ways of grabbing nutrients from the soil. So root way number one is like, it just goes through. So there's salts here and there's salt inside the plant, and it's literally just moving from high salt gradient to low salt gradient. So it's just moving from here in. And so this is what we call passive transport. So when it's really hot, your plant is respirating, so there's lots of water coming in the leaves. And just like you get dehydrated when you sweat too much, and you need to rehydrate with electrolytes. That's what the plant is doing with the soil and the water from the soil. So the nutrients will pass through the root, just like we drink it, because they lost the salt, and that's how that one moves. And then there's active transport. So active transport is the plant saying, okay, I need this, and so I'm going to send out exudates, so different flavors, like you got Taco Bell, Wendy's, and McDonald's, and each one calls to a different nutrient, but it calls to the nutrients that are the same size. So, you go to Wendy's, you see the menu and you say, oh, there's cheeseburgers, there's chicken burgers, there's salads, but I'm at Wendy's and I want something from Wendy's. So I'm going to pick the cheeseburger because that seems like it's the easiest one. That's the default. It's number one meal on the menu. You don't look any farther down. Plants are the same. So calcium, unfortunately, isn't, combo number one. It's combo number 3 or 4. And so magnesium is actually combo number 1. So it will grab magnesium first when it calls out for it. And so because of that, what ends up happening is the plant becomes deficient in calcium because there's too much selection. And what's there at the forefront is too much magnesium, for example. So actually nutrient imbalance can be a huge portion of the problem. And now if you're in a situation where you've done this, or you're like, oh God, like I know for a fact that this is the problem, the solution to pollution is dilution. So all you want to do is just pile in.
Solution to pollution is dilution. I love that.
All the time with soil science, all the time. Solution to pollution is dilution. It doesn't matter what it is. If you over fertilize it, it's water soluble, more water. If you've got soil that's, you think it's contaminated or something's wrong with it, maybe you have like a persistent pesticide in there, you got burnt by some bad compost, solution is dilution. So
I'm writing this down.
No, it's like a great rule of thumb. You just keep on piling shit in. So yeah. So for example, and if that was the case and we're talking like a soil, all you want to do is just pile more in. So you're going to pile in, inert material ideally. So we're talking like peat or leaf mold or coir or, extra topsoil, whatever the case is, and just like, put it in that area, and then it'll kind of take the edge off if you think that that is the problem. But it's hard to really say. Like, I don't really know 100% if like what gardeners are experiencing. Like, I would say the beginners are more experiencing improper watering, in my opinion, over lack of calcium. And I would say the experts are probably suffering more from over fertilizing. And I would say
you're right. I think you're right.
yeah. And I feel like the middle guy is like actually not having calcium, which is incredibly rare where we are in North America, unless you're under very specific circumstances, like a really sandy soil or something like that. You've got high sandy soils. If you're near an ocean, then I'd have the conversation about like actually lacking calcium per se. So, yes.
So interesting. Thank you. I've heard all about blossom end rot and experts' advice for years, and that was just mind blowing. Thank you. Really helpful.
If I can add something, I think you did a video. I think I watched it last year. I don't know if you did it last year, but it was about, I want to say not bath salts. What's the word for it? But
Epsom salt.
Epsom salt. Yes, that. I fell into that. I guess I don't know if you call it a trend or a fad or whatever, but then you did that video and I was like, because I noticed, like, I think maybe not for all varieties of tomatoes, but there are some that if you add that, like, you immediately get blossom end rot because you
really
explained. And I didn't realize it until like I watched that video, and then because that's what I did, I would sprinkle just a little bit of Epsom salt because
people swear it makes their tomatoes taste better.
It's much sweeter. Now, and that may be the case.
And then I watched Ashley's video, and I've never really jumped on that bandwagon.
I noticed, I was like, oh my gosh, within like a week or so, the tomatoes started to have some were like real bad, like every single tomato. And then she did a video talking about how suck something.
Well, yeah, salt does dehydrate, doesn't it?
I don't know, but I'm not doing it anymore.
That's magnesium. So that is number one on the Wendy's menu. Like that is like Epsom salt has a lot of magnesium in it. So it ends up, forcing calcium just out of the picture.
So
It's
there's
just calcium.
probably some varieties of
Interesting.
tomato plants that just like gobble that up, and then all you get is blossom end rot tomatoes. Like, but then there's some, I don't know, like some were fine, but then there were others where I was just like, I bet now that it's that Epsom salt. I'm not doing that anymore.
So the Epsom salt thing is
It depends on the roots and stuff too, right? Like, so some of them, like, depending on the plant, like, I don't know what happened specifically in that scenario, or if you can even remember, but, like, some of them are going to have deeper root systems. So some are going to have tap roots that go a lot deeper. And so those ones are going to have more access to calcium rather than Epsom salt just kind of like sprinkled on the surface. Whereas other ones may have more of a shallow root system. So they are just grabbing kind of what's at the surface. So it may be that they all would have been affected by that magnesium dosage, but it's just the ones with the big tap root that were able to successfully overcome it. So that could be, I mean, in part too, but oddly enough, I don't know if you guys ever done this, but you could experiment if you wanted to. Do you guys like ever use bricks before you harvest tomatoes or anything like that?
use what?
So the bricks meters.
Oh, the refractometer.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like
refractometer.
with our plant.
Yeah.
No,
I haven't done it with the plant. I test the tomatoes I review with doing the bricks, but I have heard that you can do great things with the refractometer and like the leaves of a tomato. Is that
you
what
just
you're talking
squish the leaves. You squish the leaves till you have enough juice to get the bricks of the plant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Tell us.
So
Yes.
it's interesting because and like you gotta try it on your own because I can't say for sure if it's gonna 100% work, but if I was on the internet right now they'd be crucifying me for saying this, but
Don't worry, you're not on the internet. It's just the three of us here.
private internet. Plus their crowd's cool, so I mean, they're gassing up, making me feel good. No, the water actually, if you put sugar, like literal table sugar, what is it called? White sugar? I don't know, whatever. Refined sugar in a jug of water, and you water a plant with that, the plant will uptake that sugar.
Really?
Well, people want molasses.
Molasses is a good example. So that one has sulfur. So that one technically you could kill off like your soil microbes, but they're going to recolonize real quick. So
table sugar as opposed to molasses.
Yeah, unless you get unsulfured molasses. Sulfur.
I have unsulfured.
Yeah, so any molasses with sulfur is going to just nuke anything. Like if you use mycorrhizal fungi, anything like that, like gone.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's meant for plants. I bought the molasses meant for plants.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably unsulfured.
What did you say with mycorrhizal? If you use mycorrhizal fungi, gone? What's gone?
Oh, if you use molasses with sulfur in it, it just kills them off. Like it is non-existent. But if you water with sugar, your plants uptake it and they will allocate it into your fruit. So if you're
That's what you do, Lauren, isn't it?
Pardon?
I have said that before because her brick scores are always so much higher than mine, like of tomatoes that she tastes. And I said, I bet
we had a good year because the year before I didn't feel that at all. This past year we had some tomatoes. I always feel quinas are higher.
Yours is like mine. I don't think I got above like a 6 this year, but that could have been the 8th.
I don't know, but I see people online right now going to Amazon getting sugar in bulk with spray bottles right now.
Yes, I'm going to go get a 10-pound bag of sugar.
I'm totally going to experiment with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't and you do a couple bad things too. So first off, if you use it for transplant shock, it's going to give the plant false hope. And that's fine so long as you're not giving it false hope and then sending it off a cliff. So it will help with transplant shock in that it takes the edge off slightly. But middle of season, I probably wouldn't use it because again, it's just like it's causing too much it's like an energizer drink. You want to avoid it mid-season, but before you go to harvest, I would say like the week or so before you go to harvest, particularly if we're talking the end of the season where you don't really care if the plants are alive anymore, blah, blah, blah. That's a good time to apply that because it'll just go straight into the fruit and then.
Wow. I love
I,
experimenting. That's a good
yeah,
one.
yeah, I like that. I
Um,
like to try new things too.
Terry
Trying to
Love says
grow
table
my best
sugar, raw
tomatoes.
cane sugar, such as terminato, does it make a difference?
No, any sugar. Obviously not sweetener, but yeah, that part doesn't matter. No.
Okay.
Very cool.
Um, I want to move on to a couple of the other things you were talking about in your video. One was, let's see, soil
Oh,
blocking.
dang, I was gonna say that.
So for those of you that don't know what soil
Intimidating.
blocking is, I'll let Ashley describe it, but this is a soil blocker. They can be quite pricey, and then they make
Mhm.
these soil blocks, basically. Um,
Yeah, so I think I had this at number 2, but
Mhm.
I will tell you if it was my personal list, it would be nowhere near number 2. I don't love it, but people love it, and that's great. But the price of it is like a little bit of a deterrent to me. But to me, few things. So first off, you need to be using the correct soil. So we again don't want that porous, high porosity soil. We want something very thick, very bulky. You can see again that's a very dense material that they're using, and the purpose for that is because you again don't want air spaces. You're relying heavily on the glue adhesion of natural plant fibers. So in this case, peat or compost, whatever is in there, to actually glue everything together, called humus. And you want to make sure it's packed in. You want to make sure it's wet when you go to actually make the blocks themselves, because there could be hydrophobicity. And then when you push them down, you want to make sure it's like quite, you really want to resist actually when you plop them in, because you want them again to be relatively compact. The nice part about these, I will say, is that they do naturally air prune because of just the nature of the block itself. Um, they're great if you overwater. They're like the dream plant, particularly if you do like what this person's doing with the like the see-through tray being the where the soil blocks are put in. You just lift that out of the tray, so it's perfect for overwatering. Um, but they fall apart, and there is
heard about
that risk of root stress,
Mhm.
because if
Okay.
your
I
blocks
just see
up,
my cat walking across that and just destroying it.
yeah,
This bottom, I think I took this picture from Johnny's, and that was a special tray that they sold for soil blocking.
block.
Another, just like the seed snail, some people really swear by this method. I've also seen other people, curse it out because they fall apart and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That would just be a hot mess for me.
It looks cool. I'm surprised, knowing me, I haven't invested in a soil blocker just to kind of do an experiment. But again, I know me, I'm a hot mess. It would fall apart.
I would just
Yeah,
get frustrated with it, I'm sure.
like they have like those little, like the little ones in the middle
Yeah, they're
are
cute.
you. So those ones, like I've got, like I have gotten these because I just want to try them out, because I can't talk shit about stuff without trying it.
Mhm.
What kind of person would I be if that was the case? But yeah, so those little guys, when you block them out, you can actually you pick them up and then you put them on the ones that are on the left, where the block is like
Oh, is
bigger.
that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
The same blocker is used for the ones on the right as they are on the left, but the setting in the middle is changed. So that one's a dibber on
Oh,
the right hand side, and on the left hand side, that's like the blocker for the transplant. So you actually transplant those little cells into the big cells, and then you can just keep on going up from that. But like again, that's like kind of one of those things where, in my opinion, part of the purpose of bumping up is to do some of that root disruption, particularly when we're talking about tomatoes and stuff, to just take that nice little block and perfectly place it in another one without tussling those roots and,
mm,
breaking things, for lack of a better term. It kind of harms your root biomass to an extent. So
okay.
um, yeah, I don't know, it's okay, not, not my favorite.
This is one that you brought up. It was towards the bottom,
Oh,
the
those
peat pots, which I know when I first started, starting from seed a long time ago, I'm like, they're peat, they're pots. It's perfect. It's a perfect thing. And then I learned very quickly they dry out and they are not good.
They're
In my
not.
opinion.
No. Yeah, so that one, there's different kinds, obviously. But first off, in Canada, they don't decompose. Like, you will find these things in your garden for 2, 3 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
It doesn't get warm enough here to decompose, but they fall apart if you overwater, so they'll just like crumble, and then even worse than soil blocks, to be honest. And then yeah, they dry out really quickly because there's a lot of air exchange. But what I will say, and I don't actually know if I said this in my video, but if you're doing like lemons or melons or squash or something that has like a really sensitive root system, and you're only going to plant them in there for 4 weeks, like 3 4 weeks say, I think that these are probably the best option, because
That's a
you're
good
going to
idea.
take that and immediately put it in the ground, and it's going to decompose if you're not in Canada. And the roots can break out of it as long as you kind of rip the bottom off and kind of, actually break the pot to an extent. But it's much safer for those roots because those roots can be so sensitive. If you were to put them in a classic pot and like, bang them out, they're not like tomatoes. They will scream and yell and wilt with you within 24 hours. So that's one I think if you're doing cucumbers and that, you could probably get away with, and it's probably the best choice. But if we're talking like tomatoes, peppers, things that have to be in a pot for 2 3 months,
No.
not it. No, not it. Not it.
We have a question from Quincy here. Can you elaborate on the air pruning since it sounds like you don't like it? There are trays specifically made to encourage air pruning, and I've always thought it was good for plant health and growth. Great
Yeah,
question.
really good question. So it is very good for plant health and for plant growth, but the key word is their plants. So we're talking an adult plant. The seedlings, they only have one kind of shot. Think of Eminem's song there. So they only got one shot to make it, and it's that one taproot that they're sending down. And if that thing gets air pruned or damaged before it can get enough momentum, that's a bad thing. So we don't want seedlings to be necessarily disrupted with that. We want, and some could argue, this is where it's kind of like, gray. A juvenile plant is something that's gone beyond 2 cotyledons, and now you've got your first true leaf. This is where you could say, well, no, now air pruning makes sense because we're putting on actual root hairs and root biomass, so we actually want to do this. Whereas other will say, juvenile plant, not so much. I'm waiting till I hit full vegetative stage, and then it makes the most sense. So once you get past kind of that hump, then yes, it is like the thing to do. And you can get those very specific air pruning pots that kind of look like corrugated plastic almost. And I don't know if
The
you've
wind
ever,
swept trays, is that what you're talking about?
yeah, like if you've ever pulled a tree or a plant out of one of those and like looked at the sheer mass of roots, like it's unbelievable how much root it can make. So yes, it's good for anything above those seedlings, but when we're talking seed starting, it makes me a little bit nervous. Yeah.
We were talking about this before the show, and I've talked about it before. So when I start in solo cups or these bootstrap farmer, which I don't think you have in Canada,
No, we
they've,
don't.
they've solo cups. This is like my ideal seed starting, and I start the seeds halfway down the pot, and I continue to add soil up the stem. But I normally can't get my tomatoes planted until like beginning of June for whatever reason. So I move mine to these long seedling grow bags, and these do air prune. But by the time they're this size, I mean they're like trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I rip the bags off. I do not plant in them. I rip the bags off, and I've always had such tremendous luck with root health and all of that. So I guess these would be considered more a juvenile plant, I guess, right? Not really much of a seedling anymore.
Yeah, no, that's like those are in vegetative stage, those guys. They're not even juveniles anymore. Those are, yeah, like those are
They're
like,
saying, "Plant me in the ground, woman."
Flower.
yeah.
I know. I just noticed that. I'm like, "Oh, I'm showing it's got flowers."
Yeah, those
Um,
are cool little
I really
soft.
like those bags. I used them last year for like I did like half and half, and mine weren't as big as yours. But
yeah,
I
that's because
when
you're able to get yours in the ground in a
yeah,
reasonable
when I
amount
was
of time.
tearing them off and like it, the all the soil stayed in place.
It's amazing, right?
And
Yeah,
because
because roots.
Yeah, and they were some of my healthiest looking plants. Like they took off and were very like until the aphids got to them. They were really good plants.
I remember that aphid issue last year.
Yeah. Well, so far, I've got a bunch of stuff in my basement, and I believe the aphid issue started in the basement, and then I just took it outside.
I think that's what happened with me too.
I don't have any pests this year. So far, so good. So, but I know the trick. I'm gonna hose them down with molasses if they try to mess with me again.
Yes, yeah, take them out. Yeah. Did that work?
I'm sorry.
24 hours after
you had great luck.
They were gone. Unsulfured.
Yes, yeah.
And I got ladybugs, and that worked great for me.
Those ones are good too.
By the end of the season, they came back, and by that point, I'm like, okay, do your thing. But speaking of aphids, I know Jen has this problem too. Starting peppers indoors, I tend to get aphids on the pepper plants. Do you have a good solution for that? I've tried a lot of different things.
Indoor anything, like if we're talking indoor plants, indoor gardening, it's hard. Like it's just naturally hard because you have like sun is a purifier to an extent, like air movement's a purifier. You've got pests and bugs out there that do a lot of work to help manage that. So unless you're willing to put like biologicals in the house or spray molasses everywhere, unfortunately you are kind of limited, because diatomaceous earth could work, but you'd have to reapply it like over and over and over again. Like every time it gets wet, you have to go in and reapply. And if it's humid in your grow room, then it's useless, So yeah, that one's really tough. You gotta, there's no real fix to that. The good news is there's no ants there to help harvest them and keep them alive and healthy. So that's the bonus, because the ants like to help your aphid issues usually.
They do. I did order. What did I order, Jen? They ended up coming in dead.
It wasn't
thrips.
It was
biologic from Arbico Organics. It was. Oh gosh, why can't I
think
of it
anymore?
They both came in dead.
That's not
shoot. What's the name of it? They're bugs that eat aphids, and not ladybugs, and they're safe to have in the house. Leaf-footed.
Wasn't nematodes.
Were there earwigs or mites or
lacewing?
Yeah, it was earwigs.
Lacewings.
Yeah. So I've heard great things about it, but they came in dead twice. It was in the winter. But I've heard good things, like I guess it's good for greenhouses because you can let them go. Apparently, maybe obviously you know more about it than I do, but supposedly they stay right on the plants. They don't go anywhere else, and they just eat until everything dies. I'd like to try it again, have them alive next time when they come in.
Yeah, there's a few out there, like predatory mites as well, or another one. They look like spider mites, but they're not at all. And that's another one that will only kind of stay on your plants and kind of run the racetrack that is your leaf highway. The only key is like you want to make sure your plants are touching, right? So there's leaf connections they can crawl over. Because if you've got everything spread out in a room, they're not going to jump from there to there type thing. So a couple bug highways hanging out. So.
Hi, Mary. Ashley, I use humic acid and mycorrhizae in the water I use on my seedlings. Is this okay, or should they not be used together?
They can be used together, yeah. I don't. Humic acid.
The Bigfoot mycorrhizae I use has humic acid in it, like it's all mixed in together.
Yeah, so humic acid's like a little bit of a misleading name. It's not acidic, so it's not like it's gonna harm bacteria or fungi, and not to mention fungus you can't kill. It's like the one living thing on this planet that can take cold and heat and
like that HBO show. What's the name of that show? It's like the end of the earth, and it's like a fungus going around and.
Oh yeah, that would. That would. They've got fungus up in the permafrost that's coming out, and they're all worried about it up in like Siberia and stuff because they're like, we don't know what this stuff's gonna do because it's been laying dormant for the longest time, and now it's gonna come back and kick our butt. And it's not the soil. I mean, the soil is not a good place to be. Like anthrax is from soil naturally, so you know, kind of dangerous.
Yeah, that's a good point. I saw you say something recently about making sure your soil isn't all compost, right?
Oh,
That was from you. Like you definitely want soil mixed in with like I use mushroom compost. I know Jen used mushroom compost, but you don't want it your stuff planted just in compost,
I think it was
right?
like first time gardening video. Is that what it was? Like first time gardeners just use your dirt. Don't use like
Yeah. No, it's super important because so they both serve a purpose, and they both serve a purpose in Mother Nature too, but you need both to make the dream work because, like, compost, for example, doesn't have as much structure, it doesn't have as much chemistry to it, it doesn't have a lot of the micronutrients in the quantity you need it. Like, I know we look at soil and we're like, yeah, whatever, it's soil. Like, there's nothing in there, it's dead. But that can be farther from the truth because your soil is made out of bedrock. So think of it this way: like a you have a multivitamin. So inside of your multivitamin, you've got iron and you've got magnesium. You've got all these different rocks that made up that multivitamin, and you can't eat the rock, right? It's not possible. It's way too big. It's hard. It's indigestible. Your body wouldn't know what to do with it. And so we ground it. We grind it into like a really fine powder, and then we eat it, and voila, we get our multivitamin. Plants are the same. So your soil is literally the earth, the crust of the earth, just pulverized into a fine powder, and now it's multivitamin form. So when we look at it, we think like, oh, it's dead. There's nothing in there, but there's a lot. There's so much going on. And if you don't have compost or like some sort of organic, you have potential for lower water holding capacity and all these little things. So yeah, no, you need both. I always say like 30% compost, the remainder being soil. You could cut it as close as 50-50, but I would just for your wallet, even just don't fill an entire raised bed with compost. That's just foolish. There's no point,
It's
right?
so
So
tempting. You're like, "Oh, this is such good stuff." It's really,
it's
tempting.
hard.
Yeah.
No.
Um, a couple people asked this question. Can you soak tomato seeds in hydrogen peroxide? I know you can do it with pepper seeds for 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can soak any seed in hydrogen peroxide. So the purpose for it varies. So there's like the whole disease fighting portion of it. But if you have like a sterile seed from a company, generally you won't have to sterilize them. You should be fine. If you get them maybe from like a seed trade, or you did your own seed saving, that would maybe make sense. There's a little bit of misinformation out there about the hydrogen peroxide helping like water and air get into the seed. There's not much pointing towards that being the case.
Do you mean
But
for like germination help? Is that what you mean?
yeah, they say it helps with germination, which there's nothing really pointing in that direction that I've found, anyways. But yeah, you can literally soak any seed you want in hydrogen peroxide because um, it's not like isopropyl alcohol. Like, it's not harmful. It's hydrogen and oxygen, so it's like a little bit above water. So it's not like it's dangerous or anything. So you could literally use it on some of your most fragile seeds. Won't do much. You can use it on your tools and whatever. So yeah.
Kelia wants to know, at what dilution are we making the sugar water?
Oh God, that's a good question. I don't know. I honest to God, I've never really done it. I've only read about it. And I can't remember. Yeah, it's something by gallon, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Give it
I,
a Google and see if you can
Okay.
find it.
I
If
know
not, I'll see if I can find where I found it before. But it's not like high.
Yeah.
You're not going to taste it and be like, oh, sugar water, you know, like it's
If
not
it's
going to be
like
like
molasses, I think molasses is 2 tablespoons per gallon.
so yeah, it's probably I was gonna say a tablespoon per gallon of like granulated sugar because that's what like brain's telling me, but I don't want to say that because I can't. Like usually, if I can cook up, like if I can cite the article or like the journal in my head, I'll say it, but I can't think of it right now, so I don't want to say it and screw
If
somebody
any of
up.
you find like a reliable source out there from Googling right now and want to put it in the comments, that
Yeah.
would be great because everybody's trying the sugar water thing now this year.
Oh yeah, I'm about to go down and water my dwarves in my basement with some sugar water.
Yes, Charlie, it was lacewing larva. That's what I used. Yeah, everybody's correct.
Larva.
Lacewing larva. Yeah, I still believe in it. They just have to come alive. Linda, hi Linda. She's in Tennessee. She lost her power from that ice storm for over a week. Poor thing.
Oh,
Um,
geez.
do you like Dr. Earth? I really like it mixed in the soil. Do you have Dr. Earth in Canada? It's like a fertilizer type.
I think I've heard of this before. Just give me a second because I think
It's like an organic one, right?
Yes, I believe so. Bill says I had great success with ladybug very young larva.
I know we don't have this.
Yeah, I can picture it in my head, but I don't think I've ever used it.
No, I know I haven't.
Oh, here's an interesting.
Yeah, I can, if that person wants to reach out to me, I can look, like I can see it. I can see the list of ingredients, for lack of a better term, on there. So I can look into the one. Looks like there's a few options actually that they have. I don't have it in Canada, but I could look at the ingredients and give a good idea as to whether or not it's something to go with or
Great.
whatever. I mean, from what I saw, it looked fine, but I'd have to look into it a little bit more. I don't want to. I think this is my second mic, just judging from what my screen is saying right now. So I don't want to like touch this. I might disappear. You never know. I'm good at them sometimes, so I don't want to.
Pretty says, what are your thoughts on mixing turmeric in your soil and spraying plants with milk and turmeric mixture? I heard mixing turmeric improves soil health, and milk and turmeric mixture works like fungicide.
Okay, so
Sounds
turmeric.
tasty.
Yeah, what's in turmeric? What is that? There's an ingredient in there that they.
It's a good anti-inflammatory.
It is.
Yeah, what is that anti-inflammatory though? Curcumin, I think it is. Think the active ingredient's curcumin. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. I'll have to look it up. I didn't realize that was even a thing, to be totally honest with you. So I'd have to look up curcumin and what it does in regards to like plant and soil biology. I'm not too sure. I can't really answer that. I know
see
human.
video.
Yeah, I think that's a video idea. Yeah, that when you mix it with black pepper and people, because a nerd's a nerd. You know, I listen to all of it and read all of it. But I do know that like curcumin, if you were to take a turmeric powder, it doesn't work unless it's paired with black pepper.
I've heard that too.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know like what turns it on. I guess what I'm not gonna. I could go down. What makes it happy? So that one, no, I don't know. Milk, though, I do know, is an antifungal specific to powdery mildew. So beyond that, I don't think it's been researched that much. But I do know from the perspective of powdery mildew, it has been, and more specifically, it's the whey protein in milk that literally explodes the hyphae and the spores on the powdery mildew. So it can help in preventative measures against that, but it doesn't have to just be milk. It could be technically like expired yogurt. It could be, protein powder. Like it's the whey that makes the difference. It's not so much the milk. So yes, that one's legit, but I wouldn't say for all fungus, but I know for sure powdery mildew, it does do quite the number actually. It's powdery mildew, comboed with the sun. So if you're going to use it, you've got to use it during the daytime on the leaves because it's the two together that do the damage. It's not like if you were to do it in the evening, it wouldn't give you the same effect. And it's also, it's not like heavy duty hitter. So it's, if you've already got like a super active infection, but if it's like a low grade infection, or you know that powdery mildew typically ramps up around XYZ time, if you can get ahead of it by a week or two, then it can help suppress it for sure for a little bit longer anyways. But yeah.
Very cool. June looked it up, says Google says 1 teaspoon of sugar per 1 quart of water is safe and effective.
Nice.
And then somebody, I think it was Teresa, said she's watering her Vilma microdwarf with sugar water right now. Sugar water would work on our micros. It could be some of those microdwarfs don't taste all that great, so maybe sugar can help.
The green zebra sounds like it needs sugar.
I can't wait to like take some leaves off and smash them. Someone said with like a garlic press, and do that in my bricks reader and see.
That is exactly.
With peppers.
So is it supposed to match like the bricks that you would find in the tomato that comes from that plant?
Yeah, I think that's what, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It might be slightly lower, but yeah.
That's
It's funny because that's the video I did with I did it years ago with that bricks meter, and I used a garlic press, and then I literally said to like the gay crew, I said, make sure someone messages me like in the comments reminding me to take my garlic press inside. I forgot it outside because I said, I know I'm going to forget this outside because I'm filming like 4 videos today. And then sure enough, the comment, did you bring your garlic press? No, I didn't. This is why I need you. This is why you're in my life.
When you go to
I came home and I was like, yeah, there it is.
Kelly says a friend transplanted her potted lemon tree to a larger pot and used soil from her garden. Unfortunately, she didn't ask me if that was okay before she did it. The poor lemon tree didn't make it.
No.
Yeah, garden soil not good for pots, is it?
Yep.
No. Too dense.
Very dense.
Yeah, one year I tried to winter sow and just my garden soil. That didn't work out very well.
No.
Learned that lesson pretty quickly.
Not enough fluff.
Yeah.
Right?
So you on your list, you really liked the solo cups. That was towards the top.
Yeah.
I really like it too. I like that it's tall and skinny.
The only thing about those is that like you can only get like so many in a tray.
Yeah.
Someone said that you can fit them nicely without them like doing this number if you cut like the top, that white round rim part off. So it makes them just slightly smaller, but they fit in the 10-20 trays a lot better without flopping around.
But then Keely, if you're watching, these are those square bottom ones we were talking about. But
do those fit better, or does that top part still
no,
I just feel like that would be a lot of work with the amount of tomatoes that I up pot, sitting there cutting the tops off those.
Yeah. That's why the
I just invested in a crap ton of those.
You can fit 18 plants in
that's
one
a
of
nice
these.
tray.
I tested the soil volume. I was channeling my inner Ashley between a solo cup and this, exactly the same amount. So where I could only get 14 of these in a 10-20 tray, previously you can get 18, but they are pricey. But get this, one of our members has sent me these prototypes where you can put these extenders on to make them even smaller, right?
Yeah.
Lucky me getting to test those out.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. But in general, you like the solo cups for starting seeds, and that was the list. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like good for beginners. I think that like obviously you got to drill the holes in the bottom, so there's that factor. I also like that they're malleable, so like when you go to take the tomato out, you can kind of slowly manipulate the seed or the root ball out. Yeah, to me they make sense. They're food safe, so they're the exact same plastic number as you're gonna find on like a regular pot. So yeah, no, I like them, particularly if we're talking like your cheapest option are those like really flimsy like pots, then like go for the solo cup because that's the better option. And then sometimes like the harder plastic ones are more difficult to like, or they're more expensive, and it's just like way out of your price range. And this is exactly those a lot of the time as well. So yeah, no, I like them. It's funny, like you gotta watch like the brand. I don't know what you guys have there, but in Canada, like we have Solo Cup, and then we have like the off brands,
Yeah.
and the off brands are like the thinner plastic and stuff. So to me, you always got to go with the name brand
You
because it's
did a
go.
video on this, didn't you? I think I watched you do a video
Oh,
on the different plastics of the different
oh
cups,
yeah, I
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I did. That's right.
I
Shoot,
have not seen
It
that
was
one.
interesting because you think, oh, a solo cup, I'm just going to get the cheaper stuff, but it really did make a difference as far as being food safe from what
Yes,
you
yeah, that's
wanted to
right.
detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Um,
funny because I actually had a pot, like a Amazon pot that I got. I think in that video, I realized while I was filming, because like I
that's
said, I'm
right.
off and off all the time. I'm like, shit, these are not food safe. Like I'm literally
Yep.
poisoning my entire family
I
every year
I
repeatedly.
remember that in the video.
Yeah,
What
and I
about
realized right then and there, I was like, oh my god, this is like not food safe. So
what about
don't
can
buy.
you reuse these year after year? Because I often do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can. Like any of the plastic you can reuse. They say the only time when it starts to like leak microplastic is when you get like the scarring and the scratching and like if you get sun fading and deterioration, that's when you should obviously chuck them. But if they look fine, like they're fine. They're not. Yeah.
Another thing you talked about, I think in your video you called it root trainer pots,
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
which kind of does the same thing as the seedling grow bags,
Is
I
that
guess.
what
They're
you were going to
tall
go
and
outside
slim.
to get?
That's what I was going to go outside and get.
But it
But
was snowing,
I
so
have
she
to
wasn't
admit, when I
pissy.
got them last year just as an experiment, so I could try that versus the seedling grow bags. The smell of chemicals when I opened it up was so overwhelming that I couldn't bring myself to put a plant in there. It was just so deep plasticky. Like I don't know where it was made. I'm sure there's many different brands
Oh,
out there, but the one I got, um, I wouldn't use it. But I'm sure there's many, many different kinds of this. Um,
yeah.
but they're nice and tall, and you can keep adding soil up, right? Up the stem, which
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah. It goes right back to that taproot. Like a nice, healthy, long taproot is always the key because it like if you want to get through a drought, you need the taproot. If you want to dig for nutrients that's lower in your soil profile, that is beyond where your fertilizer can reach, you need that taproot. So those are game changers. There's a reason why people who do tree farms and saplings and that sort of thing, it's yeah, they constantly are using them. So yeah, no, I really like those root trainer pots. And there's different options, different kinds. I mean, those sock things are really, really neat too. So yeah.
Yeah, I like
Soft
them.
things.
So June's, yeah, they do look like socks.
They do look like
They
socks.
look like socks to me. I was thinking to myself, like if you went to the thrift store, you know, and they have like the bags of like nylons and socks and stuff. I was like, they're probably.
Oh, that would probably. That's a good
I don't know
idea.
what your thrift stores are like where you are, but here they're sometimes they're expensive, so it probably is more than what those things are. But
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe. June said it's actually 1 tablespoon for tomatoes, 1 tablespoon per,
One
is that
table.
per gallon or liter, June? Um,
Probably per
Lynn,
gallon because someone said 1 teaspoon per liter. So I think that would
oh, yeah, right.
be, yeah.
Linda says we have high humidity, so I've also used aspirin water to spray my tomatoes. They seem to love it. What does
yeah.
aspirin do for tomatoes?
It has ASA in it, so it's actually the active ingredient that is found in willow. So aspirin, if you didn't know, is like one of I guess one of the more natural, classic, conventional medicines out there. But it's naturally found in willow bark, and every plant naturally produces it when they're under stress, and so it's like their defense mechanism. So when you spray a plant down with that, or if you were to use that, like when you go to transplant, when you bump up after like an attack of disease, or you get hailstorm or windstorm or whatever, any sort of damage to that plant, if you spray it with that aspirin water or you water it with aspirin water, it's going to bounce back a lot quicker because it's like their defense system, you're just helping that out because it's naturally producing it on a lower level. Willow is what produces it at a super high level. So what other people will do is they'll take willow and they'll put it in water, and then they just kind of like let it sit and it will leach out into the water, and then you use the water to do it. But you can use aspirin. It's like the quicker way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kevin says, shout out to Ashley. I've learned so much on the biology side of veggie gardening. Thank you.
Awesome.
Nice. Thanks for
Love it.
watching, Kevin. So have I. I really, it was actually a member, I think it may have been Rowena, who actually lives in Canada a couple of years. Oh, we're at 104 live viewers. Welcome, everybody.
Very
We
cool.
have Ashley from the Gardening in Canada YouTube channel on with us. Make sure you type in #tomato. We're going to give away some great prizes at the end. We have about 10 more minutes with her.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, I know. It goes so fast. Next time we're going to book her for 6 hours.
Yes, please.
Perfect.
Tanya says bootstrap trays are quality and will last a long time, worth the investment if you are a forever gardener. I agree. They are an investment, but they are a great one. I often keep, I have different sizes of bootstrap, but I have so many of these that I keep some outside all winter long, and they do fade, but
Yeah.
they don't break. They're good
Especially if
quality.
you're like a sloppy ogre like me and tend to step on things. Like, I've stepped on those.
I'll start my tomato seeds, like the ones I'm going to give away to people, I'll do in the solo cups. But for my tomatoes, they'll go in there. Sadly, they never have sales. But last year?
They don't need to because they know they've got good stuff.
I know. Francis says, question regarding disease. It's recommended that we disinfect seed starting cups after using. Do you find that's truly necessary? I always do, but hear others say never. I never do.
I never do.
I don't either. No. I think if you have like a known soil or seed-borne issue, then maybe, but that's pretty unlikely considering the conditions that you seed start in. So you're seed starting indoors in the winter. There's not a lot to transfer disease and that sort of stuff around, so it's probably pretty unlikely. I think that if you had cuttings, that's where it maybe you'll want to be a little bit cautious. Like, say you have blight on a cutting and now you're replicating that cutting into a tray and a whole bunch of other cuttings into that tray. Okay, that maybe is a different conversation. But we're talking seed starting. Yeah, I don't know. I never have. I never really do.
I was worried. I meant to like clean my grow pots that I had, like all my like dwarves in, and everything got infested with aphids, everything. So I was going to sterilize those like with bleach water, and I didn't.
And you mean like grow bags? Is that what you mean, or like
like the black grow pots, whatever?
Yeah.
And so, and then I wanted to up pot all my micros, and I was just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And I was afraid, like, oh, are there aphids eggs, or I don't even know how aphids produce or whatever, but so far so good. So I'm guessing I didn't see them, guys. They were dirty as hell, and I still planted everything.
I don't clean out my grow bags either. I mean, I don't reuse the soil. I shouldn't say that. I do reuse the potting soil. I will take it. I have a big pile out back, and I'll make amendments to it and all that. But I don't just like keep it in the pot year round and keep planting, and I do doctor it up a little bit. But I don't clean the grow bags. I guess I'm a lazy gardener. I don't do that.
I don't either. No.
I do too much to be like clean.
Yeah.
I can't.
I agree. Yeah.
Back to the sugar. So is the best time to sugar plants when the tomatoes are green, or is that too late? You were saying
no, we're talking the tail end. Like, we're talking like you want to do it like you're about to harvest. You're going to grab them off the plant in a week, and so you toss some sugar on them just to give them that little extra boost. Yeah.
I think you have just rocked the world of the
tomato. We're all excited about sugar.
It's going to be the talk of the tomato world in our group. Everybody's going to try this.
I just thought
we got to do a video about that one then.
You
should reference Men in Black. Have a pop-up.
Yeah. I think my video on that's old. So I'll redo a video on that one. I'll dig into what the literature and see if there's anything new on it or not. Maybe the opinions have changed, but last time I read it was probably 3-4 years ago, and definitely seemed like there was some stuff there. Yeah.
Well, I have duplicates of some micros downstairs, so I could sugar water one,
Yeah,
not sugar water the other, and I'll let you know what happens.
do it.
Now, let me hope
Do
they
it.
taste sweeter because they're supposed to taste sweeter.
Yeah, I'm gonna crush the
I'm
leaves too and
totally
test to see
trying
if the
it.
Brix is higher
Yeah.
on the or the
Yeah.
same like tomatoes that come off the plant. Yeah. Ooh, I'm excited. Experimentation.
Kevin, my peppers came down with bacterial leaf spot last year. What preventative measures should I take, and how soon could I put peppers back in the same place?
That's gonna depend on where you are. So if you're in an area that's not like super cold and it's not that cold isn't gonna nuke everything out, then you may want to consider putting them somewhere else. And generally speaking, like I don't know 100% for that bacteria what its half life is, but generally speaking, it's between 3 to 5 years is kind of the time frame in which a bacteria will linger without the host. So if the host is gone for 3 years and you put them back in the fourth year, it should be fine. But if you were to put them back the second year, there's a potential that they could still be there, but in lower quantities. So, yeah.
Question. What temperature is nuking temperature? You said the cold.
Yeah. So, like, it's going to, again, depend on the bacteria and the type and that sort of thing. But generally speaking, I'm Canadian, so I don't really know, but minus like 15, minus 20 is kind of what I would say is nuke cold. And the other key is that, like, if you're gonna go that route, you need to remove the snow. So you need to expose that area to the cold because snow is an insulator. So if you leave snow piled on top, it's actually much warmer under the snow. Oddly enough, that's why we live in igloos up here, is because they're warmer inside of underneath them. So. But yeah, so you'd want to remove that snow, and then that would help with that nuking process. But I think it's quite cold. I don't know how much of the U.S. would get that cold per se.
You did a video, I feel like it wasn't long ago, but maybe it was that summer, about a lot of people are very, you have to rotate your crops. And I believe
Yeah,
your video said for like the average home gardener, like what I do, it's not really necessary. It's more for farming. Is that right?
yeah, it's born out of farming. It's just we took what farmers do and we were like, yeah, that makes sense. That actually wasn't that. I don't think that video was that long ago. I
Okay.
think that was during the winter time, so I would say it's probably like December
I thought it
ish.
was recent, but sometimes I don't
Yeah,
always catch the new ones and I watch them later. But I thought it was pretty
yeah,
recent.
no, that sounds like a wintertime video that I would have done. But yeah, no, it doesn't. Gardeners, it's much different, just because of the nature of the beast. But
Mary says, I already use a lot of sugar for hummingbird nectar. Now I will use twice as much to water tomatoes. We're gonna we're gonna see on the news next week, like there's a shortage of sugar. We
I'm
don't know what's happening.
gonna go to my Walmart and it's gonna be bare shelves of where the sugar sits.
yeah, yeah,
Leslie says, I love how Ashley says we live in igloos with a straight face.
that's funny. Yeah, I think if you don't know me, you gotta watch what I say because sometimes I'll drop little cherry bombs like that without a reaction, and then people are like, "Wait, no, that was funny."
That's why we love you.
Mhm.
That's
Somebody
funny.
asked early in the episode, I didn't get to the question, what is your favorite tomato? I'm guessing green zebra is not it.
Not it. No, not at all. No. I do. I genuinely like that pink brandy wine.
Mhm.
Like I love it. I don't know. To me, it's perfect. It's the
It
perfect
really kind
tomato.
of is like the
Yeah,
quintessential tomato.
texture, like just the meatiness of it, like all parts brandy wine. I love it. Like
Yeah.
even the red on it, I just like that kind of like pale red. It just
Mhm.
looks so pretty to me, and it's like yeah,
The, the
pastelly red, I guess. But
the pink
yeah,
tomatoes I think taste far better than the red.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, way better.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally
Um,
agree.
we just hear a lot of people saying they can't grow brandy wines because of the long season, like they just can't. And also the potato. Do you have any thought on potato leaf versus regular leaf tomatoes? A lot of people say that like the potato leaf are less susceptible to disease and all of that. It's got more surface for the sun to hit it. Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's maybe another good video idea. But no, I don't know. I've never, the fenestration part, I've never really read any, I've never read anything, but I've also never researched on it. So I don't know, I can't really comment on it. Hypothetically speaking, though, like if we're looking at like fenestrations in nature and why they exist in nature, um, generally the reason they exist is for either light to pass through the upper canopy to the lower canopy. So we're talking like, I'm talking like broad plant science here. So I don't know tomatoes specifically. I'll do a video. I will do a video on this.
All right.
But the light, when it comes down and it hits the canopy, the ones that have the fenestrations in it, so they're not the potato leaf, it allows for light to go and penetrate down. So you get a canopy that gets more light all the way through. And then the second reason for why plants put it on, and they may or may not be related or like coherent on the same plant, is for wind movement. So like full leaves are like sails, and so it causes like a lot of disruption in the stem and the root and that sort of thing. So it can cause a lot of damage. Whereas fenestrations, the air passes through it. And so the idea there is it's not as much pressure on the stem proper of the plant, which in turn means that, yeah, you don't, it's less damage. So I don't know, typically speaking, like disease and stuff, I've never read anything about fenestrations helping with disease or pests or anything of the like. But again, I only have really researched fenestrations on like a plant science whole level. I haven't looked like individual species, why they have it. So I'd have to actually research that to see what's going on there. But yeah.
The brandy wines are potato leaf. And a lot of
Yeah.
people specifically seek out potato leaf varieties. So yeah, get back to us, create a video and get back to us on
Yeah,
that.
I will. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like fenestrated leaves, like there's more surface area. So I guess you could argue the increased surface area allows for more spaces in which there could be damage, and that damage could then allow for like disease and bugs and that sort of thing to penetrate. So yeah, I'm not too sure there's got to be some logic there. Like I could see why people would think that, like that's based in a logical brain, I would say. I don't think that's a stupid conclusion to come through to. I think that's probably pretty logical. I just don't know what the answer to it is.
Okay. Well, we're at 8:30, sadly.
I didn't even ask any of my questions.
Go ahead, ask one.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
I think we got to all
Send a video on Instagram.
stuff. Yeah. Thank you all for
You'll just have to come back.
We'll give away prizes. Will you come back and visit us again in like 6 months or so?
Absolutely, no problem. Anytime.
Make sure you follow Ashley. Her channel is Gardening in Canada. You can get videos from her all the time, and they're just like talking to a friend, like we just had for the last 90 minutes. Make sure you check her out. You can also find her on Instagram at Gardening in Canada as well. It's great. And we're going to give away some prizes, but you want to hang out for the prizes, Ashley?
I'm gonna run because I gotta go to supper with my parent or my dad.
Oh, that's nice.
Ashley, thank you so much.
I'm so happy. I'm going to like an American restaurant too. It's like Louisiana style cooking. Like it's like a bon ton.
Ooh.
So,
Well,
you guys were go for my Friday night apparently.
Thanks for being here with us. We appreciate it.
It was so much fun.
Soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good
Thanks,
weekend.
Ashley.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
All right. If you guys didn't get in #tomato, you can do that now. She's so awesome, isn't she?
Oh, so much fun. I can't believe how quick that hour and a half goes by.
I know.
Oh,
So
yes.
great.
Yeah.
Can I find the giveaway tool
So
now?
fun.
I can. Hang on.
I look forward to this so much every month.
I know. I love doing episodes with just the two of us, but when we have a guest like Ashley or who's that? Okay.
Oh.
Ashley or Craig or somebody, it's just it's so great. And I think we do a good mixture of having guests and then just the two of us too. She's just a wealth of knowledge. She's
So knowledgeable. Yeah.
All right. So prizes. Gosh, we were up to like 105 live viewers. I think that may be a record for us for.
That's awesome.
Uh-oh, what happened? Page response. Uh-oh. It says page unresponsive. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's give away prizes quick. First prize is from John Kramer, $25 gift card to Tomato Eden. If you win this, please message John Kramer. Hang on, what's going on? Oh, shoot. Hang on. Things aren't going. Oh, boy. My mouse isn't working.
Is there anything I can do from my
I don't
end?
know. Are you able to scroll through the scenes and pick? Because I can't. It's saying,
Giveaway. Do I click the giveaway one?
yeah, maybe.
And then what?
You know, hang on. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm going to look through the comments here and see if there's anything because it's so hard to look at the comments and listen. I can't do two things at once. Multitasking is not my forte. Okay. Okay.
What happened? Okay.
Did you get it figured out?
I think so. I think I can do things now. Yes, I can.
We always miss so many comments.
I had to try to go through and screen for just questions. Sorry, we missed a lot of your
I
comments,
go back
guys.
and read them afterwards.
All right, let's try this again. So John Kramer is giving away $25 gift card. You can please private message John if you are on Facebook. It's John Kramer, Kramar. If you're not on Facebook, you can email me at the email address below, and I will get you in touch with John. All right, we ready? Oh, no. Linda Jarman, congratulations, Linda. You get $25 off. Oh, she just won something for me yesterday, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
That's a name
lottery, Linda.
Before, I don't think.
You can email me or contact John directly. $25 at Tomato Eden is a good thing. Hang on, I wanted to pull something up here. All right, there we go. That's something new. I got some confetti. Okay.
Ooh, pretty. I feel like I'm in New York City.
All right, next one. 2 prizes from Cindy C. Thank you, Cindy.
Yes, thanks.
I will be, by the way, I will be at a Facebook Messenger jail in 2 days for those of you trying to message me. She's giving away, I don't know what I did. I know, bad me. Sending too many messages about tomatoes. Cindy's giving away 2 packages of Kaylee Ann Yellow, Rebel Starfighter Kaylee Ann Yellow, 1999 Lady Madonna Dwarf Mocha's Cherry Round, and Woolly Kate Yellow. Thank you, Cindy. If you guys win this, you can contact Cindy in the group, Cindy CEE, or you can email me.
This guy.
Hey, buddy.
Play with me. Play with me, please. He keeps bringing his toy up to me, and I'm like, no.
Dana Smith, 519. Congratulations, Dana. You can contact Cindy C, please.
Bubba.
And second winner. She's just so much fun, that Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
I learned so much. You know the tomato world is going to be spraying down their plant
water. I'm about ready to get a jug when we're done this and go, because I've got some flowers on some of the plants already. So
I should show you my micro. I've got a micro over there.
I used to say that. Like, I think I've even said that in some videos. Like, I think Lauren pours sugar water all over her plants because your mix was always higher than mine. Who knew it was an actual thing you could do?
I know, really. I never would have expected that. Congratulations, Gigi. You can email or private message Cindy C. Yeah, this past year, my bricks were higher on a lot of them because Keena's always seemed to be higher than mine. The year before, I felt like I was hovering in the 4s and 5s everywhere, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. but I did have some high ones this year.
Yeah, I attributed my low scores to the aphids. I think they just suck the life out of
I
my
totally agree. I
So-
totally agree. I think that's exactly what they do.
those buttholes. No aphids this year. I've got molasses in my back pocket. Bring it.
All right, next prize from Akelia. For those of you that missed, oh, can I get back to that slideshow I keep missing?
Leo, no. Leo. He's trying to
Let him stay.
No, he's trying to climb over my MacBook. He's like
Akelia is giving away 3 of these great potting mats. I have one. It's sitting right over there. They're fantastic, especially for like potting things inside, which I do micros all the time. So thank you, Akelia.
Yes.
If you live in the United States, this is what you're getting. If you are overseas and watching, she's going to give away 15 varieties of your choosing from her list.
Wow.
Yeah. So
generous. Very,
how
very
do I
generous.
get back to the giveaway tool?
Thank you to everyone who donates to us.
Yes, for sure.
So nice, so wonderful.
Hang on, where's the giveaway? No. Come on, really?
Do you want me to bring it up again?
No, it's working fine. I just have to find the right screen. We just had it. All right. We'll do this one. Okay.
Okay.
Let's try this again.
Alrighty.
All right. First one.
Leo.
Thank you, Akelia.
Yes, thank you very much. Ooh, the confetti!
I'm in New York. June, congratulations, June.
Yes.
Contact Akelia. She's in the Facebook group.
I bet you've never done the New Year's Eve New York City thing.
I would never be caught dead.
Would do that either. I hear you.
I can think of is where on earth do you go to the bathroom?
That's what I just said. I hear you have to wear a diaper. I'm not doing that.
I'm not wearing a diaper.
I don't even if I wore a diaper, I still don't think that I could go in my pants. I don't think I could.
No. Even when I was younger and drinking and all that stuff, I'd rather watch it at home. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it seems a little bit chaotic.
I'm not huge on crowds. I love going to New York City, but like smashed in there like a sardine.
Or being in the cold for that long, pass.
Big pass, hard pass. Even my daughter Riley wouldn't be caught dead there, and she lives in New York City. All right, that was number 1.
Yep.
Just giving away a blue one, a pink one, and a green one. I guess you can work that out with Akelia. Second one. Oh, Gigi, you can't win again, Gigi. Go play the lottery. Let's draw again.
You've got I've got my iPad beside me, so I'm doing it with my MacBook, my iPad. The thing's scrolling, and Leo's sitting here slapping.
Oh,
right, buddy?
Kathleen Murray, congratulations, Kathleen. You can contact Akelia. And last but not least, you guys got as much out of the show as I did.
Yeah. Super fun. I can't wait to have her back. She did say she'd come back. So.
We did. We got her right on the air admitting it.
Yeah.
Christy Quinn, congratulations, Christy. You can contact Akelia. Thank you all for being here. We will see you next month. I'll be back for one day when we're doing from Florida for.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'll be back the day before, so we'll let you guys know what the topic is and all that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you join our group, which we didn't mention once. Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. This is our wonderful community. Even if you hate Facebook, join just for our community. We are drama free, and we're great for the beginning grower or the more seasoned grower. There is no snobbery in our group whatsoever. We are all about having fun and growing our precious tomatoes.
Yep.
All right, Jen, I love you. And Leo, I love you too. I'll see you guys next time. We have a cute little 15-second song that'll take us.
Oh, yeah. Let's.